Hey everyone, welcome back. We're doing a deep dive today into faith and resilience.
Oh, yeah?
Exploring an episode of the Christian podcast. It's called Divine Threads,
Okay.
hosted by Sarah and Michael.
Sounds interesting.
Their stories give us a look at how faith can help us be strong, especially when life gets hard.
Definitely.
Now we're going to focus on the personal stories they shared, not on theological debates or doctrines.
Right. Makes sense.
It's amazing how these stories show that sometimes we need a big change to see what really matters.
It's like we're just going through the motions,
Yeah.
and then, bam, something shakes us up.
Exactly. First up is Michael's story.
Come here.
This guy was a total workaholic, 70-hour weeks,
Wow.
totally obsessed with his career. And then
That's happened.
he gets into a near-fatal car
Oh,
accident.
wow. Talk about a wake-up call.
Right.
It's incredible how something that intense can change how we see everything.
Yeah.
Like in Michael's case, there's this turning point. A nurse says to him, maybe this is a second chance. Makes you think, how often do we ignore those little hints in our own lives?
Yeah.
Like advice from a friend or a book we find, or even just a gut feeling.
So true. And for Michael, this second chance led him to volunteer at a community center.
Interesting.
Something totally different from his old self.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just about filling his time. It was about finding real fulfillment.
And that's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
Michael wasn't just going through the motions. He was really affected by it. He connected with people on a much deeper level.
Yeah.
Found a purpose he never felt in his corporate job.
Wow.
It even led him to change careers completely.
That's amazing.
It wasn't just random volunteering. It was a journey of self-discovery.
Makes me think about times I felt stuck or unfulfilled. Maybe those feelings are a sign to try something new, even if it's a little scary.
Totally. Sometimes we hold on so tight to our plans that we miss out on unexpected things. Michael's story is a good reminder that letting go, even if it comes from a tough situation, can lead to a better and more fulfilling life.
Okay, let's move on to Sarah's story now.
Okay.
It's a very different emotional journey.
Oh.
Her younger brother Daniel gets a devastating diagnosis.
Oh, no.
Leukemia at only 25 years old.
That's awful.
I can't imagine how heavy that news must have been.
It really makes you think about how fragile life is and how quickly things can change. But what's amazing is how Sarah's faith helps her through it.
Yeah.
There's this powerful moment in the hospital chapel.
Okay.
She's full of worry and fear,
Yeah.
and she just pours her heart out in prayer.
Wow.
But it's not just about begging for her brother to be healed.
It's more than that.
It's about finding comfort and connection with something bigger than herself.
It's like she's not asking for a miracle. She's looking for strength to deal with the uncertainty and fear.
That's it.
That honesty in her prayer.
Yeah,
It's something we can all relate to, those times when we just need to let it all out.
exactly. And Sarah's story shows a big truth. Finding peace isn't about not having suffering.
It's about more than that.
It's about finding strength that lets us handle those tough emotions.
And sometimes that strength comes from faith.
Yeah.
The belief that we're not alone in our struggles. And then Daniel makes a remarkable recovery.
Really?
The doctors are shocked.
Wow.
But Sarah sees it as God intervening.
A testament to her faith.
Not every story has such a dramatic ending, but it's important to remember that even with ongoing hardship, faith can be a huge comfort.
It's a reminder that faith isn't about getting what you want.
Right.
It's about finding the strength to face whatever life throws at you.
Sarah's story shows how faith can give you that inner strength, that hope that keeps you going, even when things are uncertain.
Exactly. What connects Michael and Sarah's stories is this image of someone carrying you when you feel like you can't walk alone.
Yeah.
They both talked about the footprints in the sand foam.
Yeah.
The one where there's only one set of footprints during the tough times.
Right.
Because God is carrying you.
That poem always gets to me.
It's so powerful, right?
Yeah, such a visual representation of being supported, especially when we feel vulnerable.
It's like even when we can't see it, there's this force guiding and protecting us.
Exactly.
And it ties into this idea of divine detours that Sarah and Michael talked about.
Oh.
They shared a story about a woman, Lisa, who was an incredible pianist, but had this career-ending injury.
Oh, wow, that's terrible.
Yeah. Devastating.
You think your life's going one way,
Yeah.
and then suddenly it just takes this sharp turn.
Exactly.
Wow.
But Lisa's story shows how what seems like a setback
Yeah.
can actually lead you to something even more fulfilling.
Okay.
She ended up becoming this amazing music teacher,
Really?
influencing so many young lives.
It makes you wonder if sometimes those detours are leading us exactly where we need to be.
Right. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
We might not get it at the time, but looking back, we can see how those twists and turns shaped our journey.
So the Divine Threads episode also had some practical advice for anyone wanting to connect with a higher power.
Okay.
They talked a lot about prayer.
Yeah.
But not just the kind where you're making a wish list.
Right.
It's more about building a relationship.
It's like any relationship.
Yeah.
You need open and honest communication, sharing your doubts and fears, but also your hopes and gratitude.
It's like having a real conversation.
Exactly.
That makes sense to me because sometimes I don't even know what to say when I pray.
Yeah.
Maybe it's less about finding the perfect words and more about just being authentic.
Absolutely. And Divine Threads also talked about finding comfort and guidance in Scripture.
Okay.
But in a way that speaks to you personally.
So not just accepting everything blindly.
Right. It's about exploring those texts and finding what resonates with you.
Makes sense.
It's about actively engaging with those teachings.
And they also talked about community.
Oh, yeah. That's so important.
Finding people who share your values can be incredibly supportive.
Especially when you're doubting yourself.
It's like having a cheer squad.
It's about finding your tribe, you know, those people who get you.
Yeah.
But it's also about being open to different perspectives.
Even ones that challenge you.
Exactly.
Because sometimes those different viewpoints can actually make your own beliefs stronger.
Right. It's like if you could think about opposing ideas and still hold on to your own convictions, that shows you really understand.
It's all about growth, right? Learning from each other and growing through those conversations, even when we don't agree.
Absolutely.
Now, one thing they emphasize that I think is so important but easy to forget is gratitude.
Gratitude.
It's powerful.
Yeah, it can change your whole perspective.
They said even being grateful for small things can make a big difference in how we see our situation.
It's about focusing on the good, even when things are hard.
Like instead of thinking about what's missing, we actively look for what's there, what's working, what we can appreciate. And then there's surrender.
Surrender.
That word always makes me a little nervous.
I get.
I understand it in theory, but letting go of control.
It's tough.
That's a hard one.
It is. It's about acknowledging that we don't have all the answers.
Yeah.
That there's something bigger than us at work in the universe.
And trusting that, even when things don't go as planned.
Right. Trusting that there's a bigger picture, even if we can't see it.
Speaking of embracing the unknown, Divine Threads shared a listener story that shows that idea perfectly.
Okay.
Mark from Ohio. He lost his job after 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Which is huge at any age.
Yeah.
But it forced him to reconnect with his passion for woodworking.
Interesting.
And that led him to start his own successful business.
Really?
Yeah. It's a great example of how something we see as negative can actually lead to something amazing. It's like that saying, when one door closes, another opens.
Right, but sometimes we're so focused on the closed door that we miss the open one right in front of us.
That's so true.
Mark's story reminds us to stay open to new possibilities.
Even when they come from tough situations.
Exactly.
What really stuck with me from this episode was this simple but powerful message.
What's that?
No matter what you're facing, you are not alone.
It's a good reminder that we all go through challenges.
Yeah.
And those challenges can actually connect us in deep ways.
Knowing that others have been through similar things and come out stronger can be so comforting.
It's like we're all part of this big tapestry.
Oh, I like that.
Each thread is a different journey, all woven together. And those shared experiences, the struggles and the triumphs, create this beautiful design.
And Divine Threads ended their episode with a really thought-provoking question.
What is it?
They asked listeners, if you could ask for one sign or message to feel more assured in your life's journey, what would it be?
That's a beautiful question.
It really is.
It makes you think about what you're really looking for.
Yeah, what guidance we're craving. It's like taking a moment to listen to that inner voice.
The deeper wisdom we all have.
Exactly.
Wow. It's amazing how much a simple podcast episode can make you think.
Yeah, it really is.
Hearing Michael and Sarah's stories and how they connected their faith to real-life struggles.
Yeah.
It was so inspiring.
I was really struck by how practical they were.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about big ideas.
Right.
They actually gave us real ways to build faith and resilience in our own lives.
You're so right. It didn't feel preachy at all.
Not at all.
It felt like a real conversation between friends who had gone through tough times and wanted to share what they learned.
And that question they asked at the end
Yeah.
about asking for a sign.
If you could ask for one sign or message to feel more assured in your life's journey, what would it be?
It really makes you think.
It does. It makes you think about what you're really looking for.
Yeah.
What do you need guidance on?
And maybe it's not about getting a literal sign.
Maybe it's about noticing the little hints of wisdom we already have inside us.
Maybe it's about seeing those coincidences.
Yeah, those unexpected chances, those moments of grace that are already part of our lives.
And maybe it's about trusting that even when we're not sure what's happening, there's a bigger plan.
That we can't always see.
But that we can learn to trust.
So as you go about your day, we want you to keep thinking about that question.
The one about the sign.
Yeah. Let it sink in and see what comes up for you.
And remember, you're not alone on this journey.
There are so many people out there
who've been through similar things
and found ways to handle the ups and downs of life.
We encourage you to reach out.
Connect with others.
Share your story.
This has been such a powerful exploration of faith and resilience and what it means to be human.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into divine threads.
We hope these stories have given you some hope.
And maybe a new belief in how much we can change.
And a reminder that even when things are dark,
there's always light somewhere.
Until next time.
May you find strength for your journey.
Wisdom from your experiences.
And connection with your community.
This is The Deep Dive.
Signing off.